Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the J Rock Show here from the SimWorld TV studios on another Friday. Thank God it's Friday, July 25th, ladies and gentlemen. Nearly at the end of the month. We're getting close to the start of the SimWorld U season. And like I said on my special episode on Wednesday, it's a 2J Rock Show episode week. And today I am joined by formerly of SimWorld Latin America, now Duke point guard Pablo Guzman. Welcome to the show, Pablo. How are we doing today?
Thank you. Doing pretty good. Having a nice day out. The weather is really nice. So I'm outside enjoying it, soaking up a bit of the sun. But yeah, I'm doing all good. How you doing?
I'm good, Pablo. It's really good to have you on the show. How have you been adjusting to life, not just on campus at Duke, but in SimWorld U as a whole? How are you liking Durham?
It's cool. It's different. It's way different. There's a lot of trees. A lot of like colored trees here that I'm not used to. There's like just the terrain's a bit different. I've gone on like mountain hikes with a couple of the guys, just getting in like a bit of better conditioning, that type of thing, and it's just way different, but it's cool. It's a bit cooler here than it is down there, just temperature wise,
Yeah.
which I'm a fan of. It's comfortable, but yeah, I mean everybody has been super helpful, helping me settle in and get used to things, and I feel pretty good now. I feel like I think I still got a little ways to go, but I feel pretty comfortable now. So it's been
Yeah.
cool. It's been nice.
All right. That's good to hear. You told me a little bit about that. I'll say culture shock going from grew up in Mexico, you're playing for Latin America, now you're playing with the premier program in all of SimWorld U. Like, what's that really feel like, and how are you adjusting not just to life, to college life, but life full time in the states?
Yeah, it's kind of surreal still, I think. Like it happened pretty quickly. Like when the offer came in, it happened pretty quickly. I had zero offers up until that point, and we had a tournament, and I did pretty well in it. And then I woke up the next day and I had messages from a bunch of colleges asking if I'd be interested in committing to them the very next day. And I'm scrolling through the list and I saw Duke, and I immediately was like, I don't think there's going to be a different school that could come in and like excite me more than the idea of playing for Duke, such like a prestigious
Yeah.
historic college. I mean, it's amazing. That was really really cool, and I jumped at it immediately and committed right away. And I guess it didn't really, because it happened so quickly, and then I had to focus on other tournaments and basketball with Latin America. I I don't know if it really settled in with me until I got to Durham for the first time and I started meeting the guys, met coach for the first time. And you're just looking around, and I mean it's such a beautiful campus. Um, I don't know if you've like been there before, but
I
it's
have. It's
unbelievable.
great.
Yeah, and I think that's probably when it actually started settling in. Just like the shock of like I'm actually here and doing this. But again, like everybody was very accommodating and helpful, getting me going pretty quickly and settling in. So yeah, it was really cool though. It was really cool.
That's great to hear. And you told me a little bit about ending up at Duke. I remember it was like the Sim World. It was all the international squads in Sim World were in Sim World Prep were in the same showcase, and you won MVP of that showcase. I think that was the first time you and I had ever spoken, so I remember it
Hmm.
for that reason. And then I remember catching wind of hearing that you were committing to Duke, and I remember the thought in my head was just like, this makes sense. You dangle Duke in a kid's face. It's especially with like the allure of a program like that. It's such a hard thing to turn down.
Yeah, no, it's it's I think it's impossible. I mean, obviously not everybody chooses Duke, but for me it was like I care about going to a prestigious program where I know that not only am I going to have the opportunity to learn from some of the best coaches, but be put in a spot where, I hopefully there will be eyes. There's always eyes on Duke, but I want to be in a spot where people are watching, people can see me because I just haven't had that experience up until now. Like nobody even knew who I was until just a couple months ago, really. So I want to be in a spot where I feel like I can let my talents hopefully shine on a big stage, and I think Duke is the biggest stage. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I definitely understand that, but Cooper Flag not coming back to campus anymore. It's you, it's Vic, it's Andre Ivanov. It's still a very good team at Duke, but kind of what was your reaction when you found out that Cooper Flag was being granted that extra jump to the SWBA earlier than most other players really are nowadays?
Yeah, it was interesting. I had obviously assumed that he would be here when I committed. Not that that was any sort of deciding factor for me. I just kind of in the back of my mind was like, oh, I'm gonna get to play a year with Coop, which will be cool. And we had spoken a bit back and forth and talked about like what that would look like, and then obviously the news came out. It's I mean, it's undeniable how talented he is. Of course, it would be fantastic to have him around to play with and kind of to have him as like the guy. But I absolutely love, the guys that we have right now. I think we have somehow in like an underrated team, which is weird for Duke, I think. But I think there are people who are expecting us to take a step back. Um, I don't expect that at all. But it was a bit of a shock. But it was one of those where it's just like not in your control. Like you can only control you can control like whatever your reality is the reality, and that was our new reality. And I think we just kind of took it in stride, and I think we all feel pretty good about where we're at. And obviously, wish Coop the best of luck in the league.
Yeah, I mean you still got Vic Ilgauskas for another year, and I spoke to you both earlier this week. Um, in the media scrum where there was a lot of noise about like John Shire's future, and like there have been some rumors about, okay, maybe it's a make or break year for him, maybe he's on a little bit of a hot seat. So what was your reaction upon seeing that, upon hearing that? Because you told me that when I asked you originally, that you said like he's our guy. You still in the same camp?
Yeah, absolutely, he's our guy. We are fully behind him. I mean, people are going to talk. They're going to say whatever they want to say. Obviously, the reality is Duke hasn't been amazing when it matters, but I don't think that that's just you just put that on the coach and you leave it at that. But regardless, people are going to say whatever they're going to say. Not only do we not care as a group and as coaches, like the staff has told us, like just don't even think about it, don't worry about it. We can't even afford to care. Like having that being in our minds for even just like a fraction of a second is a distraction, and we need to stay focused on what the actual task at hand is, which is at the moment learning the system, getting better, gaining more chemistry with the guys, especially as freshmen coming in. Me and Andre, like we need to get up to speed, and whatever people are going to say, whether it's media, whether it's whoever, like we just cannot afford to listen to any of that because it's again something that's not in our control. The only thing that we are in control is what's on the court, what happens on the court, and if there's any sort of distraction that's going to negatively impact what's happening on the court, then that's not good, and that is obviously something that could negatively impact it. So we just can't afford to think about it. And again, like I love Coach Shire. He's been incredible since the moment I got here. Um, I think he's going to be the best coach that I've ever had, easily. And I'm looking forward to just learning everything that I can from him while I have the opportunity. And I hope that will be for a long time.
Yeah, I really get that. So I mean, you got 2 more years. Obviously, you want to have him for both, but I kind of want to switch gears here for a second because I had
Sure.
I had Juan Vizale on the show. I believe it
Yeah.
was 2 weeks ago, and I asked him about his favorite Mexican cuisines or favorite or favorite dishes of, I would say, of Latin American cuisine, and I believe he said empanada. He either said empanadas or tamales. So I want to know is what's yours?
Mm. I love tamales. I think they are delicious. Empanadas are honestly up there for me too. I think those would probably be my top two. I remember eating them. There was a spot that Juan and I would go to all the time, and we'd always get food for all the guys, and we would always get a ton of empanadas and tamales and bring them back, which was really cool. And then for like a sweet type of thing, flan. I love flan. I can't go wrong with churros either. Um, but yeah, I love, absolutely love Mexican cuisine. It's the best.
Hmm. Well, I'm a big fan of that as well. So I'll definitely have to kind of take your word for it and trust your judgment, trust Juan's for sure. And but
Yeah.
going on a similar topic, now you're on a college campus. What have been like your favorite things to eat, being like not just in the States but more of a, what do you like to eat in the Duke area? Juan told me he likes Waffle House. Are there any of those cheap kind of meals that you've been enjoying?
Yeah, so there's I didn't even know this was a thing, but it's called Five Guys.
Oh, I love
There's a
Five
Five
Guys.
Guys, and they have like really nice burgers there. They give you like a ton of these like perfectly crisp fries as well, and they have peanuts that are there too that you can just kind of walk in and grab while you're waiting to order. So I've really been digging Five Guys. Chick-fil-A, big fan of Chick-fil-A. Their spicy chicken sandwich is, I think, the best thing maybe the best thing I've eaten since I got here, honestly. Um, and the lemonade obviously is really 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 good. Um, but yeah, those two would probably be what I've been sneaking out to get the most when as and when I can.
And those Cajun fries at Five Guys are great, right?
Yeah, they are so good. They're really good.
Good thing it's the off season, right? You get that time to enjoy those kind of cheat meals and to kind of take things easy. So, have you picked up any
Yeah.
hobbies outside of basketball this off season?
I've actually been doing a bit of writing, um, like journaling and just like short story type of things. I've been doing that a little bit. I started doing that last year, so it's not exactly like a new thing. It's still relatively new, I suppose. Um, but I've had a bit more downtime now than I have in the last year, so I've had a bit more time to allocate towards that, which has it's been nice. It's definitely a entirely different change of pace to basketball, but it's definitely like a relaxing hobby that I can just kind of sit down and at a desk or outside under like a tree and just sit down and write for a bit. And I think that's been helpful. It's whether I'm just like writing about like my day or like actually just writing like a just like a fictional short story. It's been really cool. I
That
like doing that.
that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad you're kind of finding that catharsis away from basketball. It's college, a lot more freedom, a lot more downtime than a lot of what the
Yeah,
prep guys are really used to. So I know that all
yeah,
too well, Pablo. So
yeah. It's been cool. It is way different. Like I feel like with prep, it was basically, and I mean, part of it is just the grind of high school and everything else. But he didn't really have all that much free time to do things outside of basketball, which I'm not complaining about, obviously. But having like a couple extra hours throughout the day to just chill has I think it's been a nice change, and I'm definitely taking advantage of it.
Have you thought about what you're going to major in yet? Have you declared it yet? Anything along those lines?
Still undecided, um, but I've really been enjoying writing a lot. So I might delve into something writing or literature or English or maybe even like a journalism type of thing. Um, I'm kind of leaning in that direction, but I haven't nailed down like a specific. This is what I'm gonna do. Um, I'll probably figure that out within like the next couple of weeks, though,
Don't
since school's gonna be starting soon.
don't go coming for my job now, man.
No, 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 no way, no way, no
It's
way.
uh, good to know, but I want to know, back to basketball. Who's the toughest player you've had to defend, whether it was in prep or in an open run or in a showcase? And what was it that made them so tough for you on that side?
That's a good question. There's been a lot. I think it's honestly an it's the easy way out answer, but it's honestly true. It's been Roderick Little. Um, I've had to go up against him a bunch since I've gotten here, and just in practice, and it's been easily the most difficult. I think part of it might have just been it was such a massive step up because he's been in college for a while, and I he is just unbelievable. I think, and so coming on practice for the first time and matching up against him, I think within like the first 30 seconds, I was like, I need to really lock in here because this is easily like the toughest guard that I've had to come up against. So it would probably be Roderick, honestly, which is kind of like the easy answer to name a teammate, but it's true. So it'd probably be Roderick.
Well, hey, you know what they say, iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I've definitely felt like I've improved rapidly just having to go up against him like hours every single day. So um, shout out to Roderick.
And when I had Juan on the show, I was asking him what guys across SimWorld U or formerly Prep that he's got the strongest relationships with, and you were, I think, the first name he brought up. So, who are those guys that you have the best relationships with in SimWorld U right now?
Yeah, it would definitely be mutual with Juan. We connected a lot once we got the uh, Latin America together, and I spent a lot of time this off season together, just doing runs and putting in work together. And I think that's probably where we got the closest. Um, was just those last couple months before we both headed off to our respective colleges, and I talk to him every day. We stay in touch. Same with the other guys too, like Jeremias, Cristobal. Um, I talk to them all the time, and I wish them the best of luck down in Miami. Um, so it's really been a lot of those guys. One, just because we were so like isolated down there
Hmm.
that didn't really have too much of an opportunity to really get to know guys outside of that. Um, but ever since I committed to Duke, me and Vic have been talking a lot, um, texting back and forth, and it was really cool to meet in person finally recently and be in the same tournament just a couple weeks ago. That was cool to hang out a little bit in between those games. And him and Juan were on the same team, which was interesting. But yeah, I'd say probably those guys, the Latin America guys. Vic's been cool. Andre's been cool. Um, those are probably who I consider to be my guys when it comes to just people who I talk to the most and uh, respect a lot and consider them to be really good friends.
That's great. Really, really glad to hear that. That Trey J SummerSlam where you were talking about Juan and Vic playing together. A lot of fun. You
Yeah,
and for
yeah,
you, you got to play with DJ Amir and Corey Yams. Like, what was that like
yeah.
playing with a big man like Corey Yams? Is that sort of your precursor for what to expect playing with Vic and Andre all season?
Yeah, no, he's a beast. It was really cool. Obviously played with Juan all of last season too, so I had like some of that experience with a bigger guy. But Corey's huge, um, and that was really cool. So it definitely gave me like the feeling like, okay, I think this could definitely work um, with Vic. And honestly, watching Juan and Vic together made me think, okay, like Andre and Vic are going to work really well together too. Um, just like the twin towers, basically down low. It's going to be really cool. Um, but yeah, playing with those guys was really fun. Like getting the opportunity to play with them in itself was just I felt very grateful to do that. And we had I think we had a pretty good run. I think we got the short end of the stick. We lost by a point in the semis, which kind of sucks. But I mean, you just kind of take it and keep moving. But we were a game away from playing against Juan and Vic, which would have been like the coolest thing. But no, those guys are really cool. Um, and I learned a lot just from playing with them for just that short little time. So I always try and like soak up a little bit every time I get like a new opportunity to play with somebody different. Um, and I definitely did with them. It was really fun.
What was that big learning lesson that you kind of took away from that?
Yeah, I think it was just how to play within a system where you're not necessarily considered to be the number one option, the guy who kind of has to make everything happen. Not that it was entirely like that with Latin America, but just the way that our system was with Latin America, I had the ball in my hands a lot. And in the Summer Slam, I got to kind of just be a bit more of like a distributor, and kind of just focus on getting other guys involved and getting them going and just like feeding our best guys. And so like figuring out sort of like how I felt doing that and just how to um, go about doing that in a way where I'm putting those guys not just feeding them the ball, but feeding them the ball in a way where I'm putting them in a position to go and be successful, and like do what they do best. I think is really important because just passing them the ball randomly, as opposed to passing them the ball in a position where it's like, okay, now they can turn and go score or do something. There's a big difference, and so just having a little bit of time to do that and learn about that because of those guys was really really helpful, and I'm definitely going to take that with me.
Yeah, and doing what you do best helps them do what they do best. So it's kind of
Yeah,
mutually
yeah, it's
beneficial
symbiotic.
relationship in a sense. Yeah, good word.
Yeah.
I like that. And something I definitely want to ask you before we kind of wrap this up is what teams, what players are you kind of most excited to face off with in SimWorld U? Can be in conference, can be out of conference. Who's at the top of your list?
Yeah, definitely at the top is Carolina.
Of course.
Um, I'm looking forward to playing them and sweeping them. Um,
Ooh.
that's
Okay.
easily that's easily the number one thing. But I'd love to play against Miami. I'm pretty sure we'll see them at some point. See Jeremias and Cristobal. I'd like to go play Juan. Obviously, that'd be cool. I don't know if that'll happen, but that would be really exciting. I'd love to play Kentucky. I'd love to play Gonzaga. Like I want to play like these big teams, um, and just like challenge myself because that's the only way you're really going to find out like what you truly have. I have full confidence in myself and my team, and I want to see what that looks like when we're playing against the best of the best, and see what that looks like. So that would probably be it. I'm looking forward to every single game, honestly, especially that Carolina game, both of
Okay.
them.
Good to know. And final question I had for you, Pablo, is there anything that most people just wouldn't know about you that you want them to know or that you kind of want to make clear?
Um,
They're like something that people wouldn't expect about you when they meet you.
yeah, I think maybe people, I don't know if they would realize this or not, but I'm a very outside of basketball, I'm a very laid back, relaxed guy. Very easygoing, very easy to talk to. Um, whether it's basketball related or not, personal life, anything. Um, I think people maybe have the like misconception that I'm just like all about basketball and I'm like, I don't know, a bit of a hard ass for lack of a better word. Um, and I'm just not. Like when I'm on the court, I'm trying to win, and I'm going to do whatever I can to do that. And that I don't know if that might come off in a negative way, but I'm just a really chill guy. Like I don't take life all that seriously. I like having fun, having a good time. Love talking about anything with anybody, and yeah, I think I think people should know that. Maybe they'll be more interested in talking to me and getting to know me. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, that'd probably be it.
yeah. You ready to introduce more of the nation to who Pablo Guzman is?
Hell yeah, absolutely. I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, that's going to do it for this episode of the J Rock Show. Thank you, Pablo, for taking the time to join me. Next week, I believe I'm having your ex teammate's new teammate on the show. I'm having Jackson Sutton on. So,
Oh, okay, nice.
so if you're watching this, let me know what I should ask Jackson Sutton on next week's episode. Appreciate you all tuning in. Appreciate you, Pablo, for joining me. And remember, folks, SimWorld, the only place you can see the game, be the game. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.